My mother publicly fired me as her daughter at her 70th birthday party, announcing my golden child brother was taking over. They both went pale when I handed him the 3-inch thick binder of her medical needs, bills, and daily demands, and said, "She yours now." "You think you're a saint just because you wipe her ass and pay her bills?" David, "No, Mom, let her hear it. She wants applause for doing the bare minimum." "The bare minimum? Are you serious?" My voice cracked, but I didn't back down. "The bare minimum is not cashing out my 401k to cover her hospital copays because you forgot to pay them for 6 months. Watch your tone, young lady." My mother's eyes sliced through me like cold glass. Lipstick perfect, hair lacquered into place, not a waver in her voice. "This is my party." "Right, your party, your performance." The room quieted. People had stopped chewing shrimp cocktails. Champagne flutes paused midair. I could hear the click of someone's phone camera starting to record. "You don't belong in this family if all you're going to do is make us feel guilty," David said, standing now, a crystal tumbler in his hand like some Wall Street villain. "You're done. You're out." Mom agrees. Mom stood, slow and regal, in her ivory shawl. "That's right. David's going to take over now. You're relieved, Melanie." A quiet gasp rolled across the ballroom, and that's when I reached under the table and pulled out the thick, overstuffed white binder, slapped it down in front of David. "Congratulations," I said. "She's yours now." Who I am. My name is Melanie Knox. I'm Ikini, and I've been my mother's full-time caregiver, unofficial financial manager, medical proxy, and emotional punching bag for the last 6 years. I live in her guest house. I gave up grad school to help out for 6 weeks. That was 192 days ago. I've missed weddings, job offers, vacations. I've drained savings accounts, sold my crypto early at a loss to cover one of her surprise ER visits, and maxed out credit cards in her name and mine. They all thought I was weak. I was just tired. But tonight, I finally stopped being tired. Tonight, I became done. The family cast brief. David Knox, 32. The golden child, financial analyst. Hasn't lived in-state for years. Only calls when there's a photo op or estate question. Thinks I'm overdramatic. Helped Mom refinance the house behind my back. Sylvia Knox, 70. Our mother, former nurse, sharp as a whip, colder than steel, was diagnosed with early onset dementia but denies it. Refers to caregiving as Melanie playing nurse. Aunt Rhonda, Mom's sister, 67. Kind but passive, always hates conflict. Knows the truth, says nothing. It wasn't just the party, that was just the spotlight moment. 2 months ago, I found a refinance notice in the mailbox addressed to Mom, except the signature wasn't hers. It was mine, forged. David had used my name and social security number, easy access since I handle all her paperwork, to get Mom's house refinanced at a horrible rate. $150,000 went missing. When I confronted him, he smirked. "It's for her care," he said. "Don't make this about you." I didn't report him. Not then. Not yet. Because if I go down, Mom loses her house. And even after everything, I still couldn't do that to her. Not yet. "You want out? Get out!" Mom yelled, champagne now warm in her hand. David's got real responsibilities. He can manage. He has a job. "You think what I do isn't a job?" I asked. "You think those charts, that color-coded binder, her pharmacy calls, her physical therapy scheduling, her oxygen refills, her Alzheimer's doctor appointments. What, you think they organize themselves? David rolled his eyes. You love making yourself the martyr, don't you, Mel? I loved her, I snapped. Even when she stopped remembering my birthday, even when I had to explain, 4 times in one day, that Dad died. You've never had to be there when she asked where he went. 2 winters ago, I found Mom in the garage with the car on, confused and shaking. She said she thought she was going to work. She hadn't worked in 9 years. I sat with her for an hour, holding her hand until she remembered who I was again. She cried. I cried. Then she made me promise never to tell David. She said, he won't handle it well. He'll think I'm losing it. So I didn't. I protected her. And she repaid me with betrayal. After handing David the binder, I walked out. I didn't scream. I didn't cry. But before I left, I stopped near the mic and turned back. I paid $73,428 of her medical bills, out of my pocket, while you all pretended she was still fine, while you all posed for Christmas cards in Aspen. Gasps, some murmuring. David stiffened. You want to take over? Be my guest. Just make sure to explain her 3 insurance policies, her dementia protocols, and the fact that she gets violent when confused. I left notes. Good luck. Then I left the binder. David followed me outside, red-faced, furious. What the hell was that? You made me look bad. I turned to him slowly. You did that all by yourself. He reached for my arm. I pulled back. You forged my name, David. You stole from me. I'm giving you 1 week to repay the $150,000 from the refinance, or I press charges. His face crumbled. For the first time, I saw fear. Not of me, of being exposed. Mom didn't know, he said. I didn't think you'd find out. You never do, I said. You think I'm stupid, but I'm just silent. That's over now. I didn't cry in the car. I thought I would. I expected the sobs, the cracked breathing, the gut-drop heartbreak, but nothing came. Just silence and peace. Like someone had finally cut off the drip of slow poison I'd been swallowing every day for 6 years. I checked into a cheap but clean Airbnb in Norwalk, a mother-in-law suite with soft lemon walls and a mini fridge. The host left me tea. I didn't unpack. I just sat on the bed and stared at the wall for a long time. Then I opened my laptop. I logged into all my accounts, checking, savings, my dusty crypto wallet that I had liquidated to cover Mom's $8,000 emergency dental bill last year. I saw numbers that used to matter. Now they just looked like scars. That night, I made a list. Not for her. Not for David. Not for anyone. For me. What do I want that no one can take from me? Peace and quiet, even if it's temporary. A job where I'm paid for my labor. Legal protection for my name. One true friend. A small studio with a locked door that no one else has a key to. A lawyer who doesn't treat me like a girl who let it happen. To not explain myself anymore. A real birthday. Just one. Where no one asks me to take care of anyone else. The next morning, I made calls. I found a financial abuse attorney. Cost me $350 for the first meeting. I paid it without flinching. She read through the refinance documents, cross-referenced the forged signature with old lease forms David had filled out in college with my emergency contact on them, and said, "We can build a case, and fast." She called it constructive fraud. Apparently, when someone has access and misuses it knowingly, especially in a familial trust situation, it holds up in court. I didn't want court. I wanted protection. I wanted my name cleared. David had used my credit to open a joint line with Mom's name and took out $150,000, pocketing over half and claiming the rest was for renovations and care upgrades. There were no renovations, no upgrades. I knew Mom didn't understand, but he did. Aunt Rhonda texted 2 days later. "I'm sorry. I should have spoken up. I didn't know how bad it had gotten." I read the message twice, then set the phone down. Sometimes people say they didn't know. What they really mean is, I chose not to look too closely. David called on day 5. He was panicked. Something about Mom having an episode at Walgreens. She couldn't remember her PIN, yelled at the cashier, then broke down crying and tried to walk home on foot. He begged me to help. I didn't pick up. I forwarded the crisis line, her doctor's info. I even included the Alzheimer's Association's emergency guide. Then I blocked his number. That was the last time I cared for her. Indirectly. But I still loved her. That never stopped. I just loved her from a safe distance now. That's all I had left to give. 3 weeks passed. I got a Venmo notification. $92,000 from David Knox. Caption: "Partial repayment. Please don't ruin my life." I didn't reply. I called my attorney. She filed a lien release and helped me seal the record. No lawsuit. But he'd never touch my name or credit again. I got a job. Nothing big. Just office admin work for a therapy practice that catered to caregivers. The irony wasn't lost on me. I filled out the W-9 and cried in the parking lot afterward. Because for the first time in nearly a decade, I was earning something that was mine. 2 months later, I signed a lease on a 480-square-foot studio in Bridgeport. The paint was peeling and the faucet whined, but it was mine. My name, my locks, my peace. I started therapy, real therapy, with a woman named Dr. Mendez who didn't ask me to explain everything twice. When I told her about the garage incident with my mom and the forged refinance, she didn't say, "But they're your family." She said, "And how did you survive that?" It was the first time someone saw me not as a caretaker, but as a human being with blood and wounds and dreams. One day I got a letter in the mail, handwritten, from Mom. Her handwriting was jagged, unsteady. "I don't remember everything, but I know you were there. I'm sorry I forgot your birthday last year. I think I knew I'd already forgotten something more important. Thank you for loving me, even when I couldn't return it." I read it 5 times. I didn't frame it. I didn't burn it. I folded it neatly and tucked it inside a drawer with a lavender sachet. That's where it belongs, next to memories that no longer hurt me. I don't think healing means everyone holds hands at the end. Sometimes healing means walking away from the fire and learning how to breathe without smoke in your lungs. Mom's in an assisted living home now. Medicaid covers part, and David manages the rest. He's not great at it, from what I hear, but he's learning. And me, I go to work. I light a candle at night. I read books without interruption. Sometimes I cry when I get a full 8 hours of sleep, not because I'm sad, but because I forgot that rest used to feel like a luxury. And on my 29th birthday, I went to the beach by myself. I bought myself a slice of cake. I watched the waves, and no one called, and it was perfect. Because I'm not a daughter anymore. I'm me now, and finally, that's enough. If Melanie's story resonated with you, don't scroll past. Have you ever been the invisible caretaker? The one who held the house together while everyone else pretended it was whole? What would you do in Melanie's shoes? Tell your story in the comments. Someone out there needs to hear it.